wants to prevent Rotterdam from finding the expansion and cancelling it when it's still trying to get actually useful. Why are people going? Another reason why people are going level Chain Lightning over Wolves in this matchup and this unit combination is that the other guy will have a lot of walkers, so the wolves will get dispelled, and you see what happens here at the start of the battle. I mean, all the summons get dispelled, people level up, and all that good stuff. And so there's actually not that much to be had with wolves or actually lava spawns, and hence Incinerate is also, well, I mean, it's pretty much the only option you have, because actually Soul Burn would also probably get dispelled. Another important thing to note is that Rotterdam has scrapped both the Goblin Merchants, so he has both the Watcher Wards, and if the game goes a bit on like this, I mean we're at 15-minute mark, then this proves to be very, very advantageous, because you basically have two sentry wards on choke points, and more importantly, whenever the other guy tries to go by heal scroll, you will know exactly where the other guy is. So it's much, much easier to scout out your opponent and to know what he's doing. Ciara TP'd there because his units were all kind of low, so he didn't want to lose more. He actually did lose the Walker, which was probably his prime target for defending, so that wasn't very lucky. He also, well, I mean, he built his expansion towards the middle, which is smart if you consider the fact that the Watcher Ward at the shop is Rotterdam's. But then again, as soon as Rotterdam goes through the middle, he will see it, and he did actually see it, so he's now attacking. He did have a bit of a hero advantage and army advantage, so this fight is going to be very hard for Ciara. And plus, he has level 3 Chain Lightning, which does a lot more damage than level 2 Chain Lightning of Ciara. Yeah, actually Rotterdam's playing a bit sloppily. He didn't recast his Spirit Link on all his units. But yeah, I mean the game is pretty much over. At this point, what could Ciara do? Well, not really that much. So, while they unwind the game, let me talk about this particular strategy. So why does it work? Well, it works because most people usually try to get Kodos directly, and so if they arrive with like 1 Kodo at your base and you have 4 headhunters, what are they going to do? I mean, they can try and eat a Kodo, they can try and eat a headhunter, but the Kodo is going to go down pretty fast, so that's not really that useful. And that's actually, if you have a lot of headhunters, I mean, or if you face a lot of headhunters, don't add many Kodos. I mean, you could add 1 for the aura and have it stay at the back mostly, and then it would be useful, but otherwise, I mean, don't go for the usual mass Kodo thingy. Which would be another way to counter this threat? Well, another way would be, surprisingly enough, would be Grunt Raider. But the problem with that is that the other guy can switch, and the other guy can switch to Kodos, and then you will have a harder time. Of course, if you take him a bit unaware, then it will work. But then again, if a guy, I mean, at this point in time, I'm saying this because maybe this strategy will become more played or something like that, but at this point in time, if the guy goes for direct headhunters, then he probably knows the matchup pretty well, and he probably knows what to scout for and to check whether the other guy is switching to Grunt Raider. Grunt Raider is not an ultimate counter of Headhunter Spirit Walkers, because Headhunters can actually focus fire pretty well, and if they are a large group, then your Grunts and, well, mostly the Grunts are going to go down pretty fast. And plus, I mean, the Raiders don't do that much damage against them, and, well, I mean, ensnaring a 2-food unit while it's useful, it's not really as nice as ensnaring a 3-foot unit and taking that one down. And they don't give that much experience compared to Grunt Raiders. So that's one possible counter though. Another counter, as I alluded to in my commentary, was to get Demolishers. Demolishers are a two-edged sword because they will allow you to push the base whenever you have an advantage, but on the other hand, they're very slow, and you will have to have peons repairing them, and they're pretty hard to micro, especially from a ranged army, because if he gets good position on you, then they're gonna go down pretty fast. So actually, I'm gonna pause the recording for a bit and look for the other replay. Just give me 1 second. Right. I actually wouldn't have had to stop the recording because I found the game straight away. So, get the second replay loaded up and pause at the 1 minute mark as well, while I will ramble on and on about the Orc mirror matchup. So, why does nobody go grunts with the Farseer to start anymore and then go creep? Well, I mean, some people do, but they usually lose in mirror. Well, mainly because when the other guy gets to tier 2, he will get a Firelords, and his tier 2 is going to be earlier than your tier 2, and he will be able to put down Bestiary, he will have put down a War Mill during the attack, and he will get Kodos, and so he will be able to pressure your base. You won't be able to get towards the Kodo too much, because otherwise it will just eat one of your grunts. And then, well, later you will see more Kodos from the other guy, and you will have a hard time putting your Bestiary up because he's on your face the whole time, and hence you will lose. So that's why the Grunt Raider strat doesn't really work that well. I mean, Grunt Raider with a late tech doesn't really work that well against somebody who fast techs. Of course, everything I'm saying right now is dependent on the map, because don't think that the mirror matchup is the same on a map with a health fountain, like for example on Maelstrom and on Lost Temple. So on those maps it's totally different, and people use Blade Master and all that kind of good stuff. So I hope in the meantime you have loaded up the replay at the 1 minute mark. My AKA is actually unknown. It's not that the AKA is unknown, but the player name is unknown. Okay, I'm just getting confused. I'm just confusing myself. Anyways, and I'm playing against My Cry. And so, let's get this unpaused from the 1 minute mark, and 3, 2, 1, unpause. Right off the bat, you will see that I do the peon micro standard stuff, but I also send all my peons to wood, and then had the altar peon go back to the gold mine to make it 5 peons on gold. Why is that? Well, because lumber is very important at the start of the game, and if you fast tech, because the more lumber you have, the earlier you will be able to put down your barracks and your second burrow. And, well, if you know what happens when the Farseers get out, they chase each other, but they also want to go cancel buildings. So you want to have your second burrow as early as possible so that the other guy can't go and cancel it. So right now directly my tech has tech as well, and I already have enough lumber for the second burrow. I put it down, and he actually does the, well, I don't know, does a choice. In my personal opinion, it's a mistake to put down the barracks first, especially on Turtle Rock where you could be on close spawns, because the likelihood of the barracks getting cancelled is very, very low, because, I mean, the guy would have to pound on it for ages, and on the other hand, you also have a Farseer and Spirit Wolves, so you will be able to do some damage to him in case he tries that. So I did run a bit far with my Farseer there, and wasn't able to get in time to his base to do. No, actually, I will be able to cancel this burrow. Yeah. And maybe also get a cancel on the second burr. While in my base I just